Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Ankush here from Alif Consulting. Welcome in our Azure Machine Learning video. Here is the agenda of this video. So we will be going to have a basic understanding of what is Azure ML is, and then we will be going to talk about who can use the ML. We'll be going to talk about ML Studio UI, what are the Azure integrations, services are supported with ML, what are the security we have, and then we will be going to talk about MLOps, which is also known as a DevOps for machine learning. What are the integrations then which we have and how we can integrate with this ML with the other services. At the end, we will be going to have a quick demo where I will be going to show you how you can create the ML service on Azure and how you can access the workspace and can done a further configuration into the ML Studio. Alright, so let's quickly jump to the introduction. Azure Machine Learning is a cloud services for accelerating and managing the machine learning project lifecycle. Machine learning professional, data scientist, and engineer can use it in their day-to-day workflows, train and deploy models, and manage the ML ops. You can create a model in Azure Machine Learning or use a model built in from the on open source platform such as a Pytorch, TensorFlow, and scikit-learn. MLOps help you to monitor, retain, and redeploy the model. So, machine learning, as we know, is the service which allow us to simplify the process where we can basically create our modules. We can train those specific modules, right? And when we training them, we can specify them in case of if there is anything or any operation is happening, what is response need to be there, how the response need to be there. So those kind of trainings which we can do into the Azure machine learning to the specific models which we are creating, and then we can deploy the models and then we can manage it to the ML ops. So this is how Azure machine learning works. Who can use the ML, right? So Azure machine learning is for individuals, team implementing the MLOps within their organization to bring the machine learning model into the production in a secure and auditable production environment. So all of these two things, two teams can be used. Uh, Azure machine learning. A part of that, the data scientist and the ML engineer will find the tools to accelerate and automate their day-to-day workflows. Application developer will find the tools to integrate the models into the application or the services. Platform developer will find a robust set of tools backed by durable Azure Resource Manager APIs for building the advanced machine learning tool. So you can see there's a plenty of peoples can use the machine learning, right? So there is an individual, there's a team who is implementing the MLOps, can use the ML machine learning models. Data scientists, ML engineers, application developers, platform developers can use ML services to integrate with the other services and can use to run their day-to-day workflows, right? And all of this, as we see, there's a multiple persons are involved, so it doesn't mean you cannot control the airbags for those people, right? So machine learning studio or machine learning service on Azure do have a RBACs, which we can use role-based access, which we can use as a role-based access control. We can define and specify what kind of access we want to give to the specific peoples, and we can also set a project to deny the access to protect the data and the selected operation. So this is how we can define the role-based access for ML. ML Studio. So ML Studio is a graphical user interface for project workspace. In a studio, we can view runs, metrics, log, output, and so on. We can do the audit. We can work as an auditor and read the notebooks and the files. We can manage the common assets like data credentials, compute and environment, visualization, run metrics, result, and reports. We can visualize pipelines authored through the developer interface, author auto ML jobs, right? All of those things we can do into the Azure ML Studio. Plus, we do have a the designer. The designer has a drag and drop interface where you can train and deploy your models. So this is all the work you can do. All of these works are available or can be doable by using the ML Studio UI. Azure Integration, right? So we do have some of the other integrations services which are supported with the machine learning project for end-to-end, and they those are Azure Synapse Analytics to provide Azure Analytic uh, to process and stream the data to with Spark. Azure Arc, where you can run Azure services in a Kubernetes environment, store and storage and database options such as Azure SQL Database, Azure Storage Blob, so on. So all these storage and database options can be integrated with the ML. Azure App Services allow you to deploy and manage the ML powered app. So all of these services are specifically allow us to have all of these services to be integrated with the ML service. Enterprise readiness and security. So Azure Machine Learning integrated with Azure Platform to add the security to the ML projects. Like you can have your ML projects to be integrated with Azure Virtual Machine with the NSGs. You can use Azure Key Vault where you can store or you can save the security secrets such as access information for the storage account. You can use the Azure Container Registry setup behind a virtual network. So all of those things are there, and you can use them as to secure the ML projects. MLOps, kind of DevOps or machine learning. So DevOps or machine learning model, often called as a MLOps, is a process for developing the models for production. A model lifecycle for training to develop uh, must be auditable if reproducible. So this is how overall uh, the MLOps flow looks like. So you have a data, and when you're having a data, you have to do the train model, where you are going to train the models according to the data with the how the processes need to be happen, what the response need to be happen, and then you can deploy the model. And from the when you deploy the model, you can do the monitoring. So this is how MLOps lifecycle work like. Once you're monitoring it, you can analyze the performance and retain the model, and then you can update the data again, and then again train the model, and all the cycle this is going to be happen on your regular basis. So this is how MLOps work. Integration. So Azure Machine Learning is built it with the model lifecycle in mind. You can audit the model lifecycle down to a specific commit and the environment. Some of the key feature enable the MLOps are Git integration, ML flow integration, machine learning pipeline scheduling, Azure event grid integration for custom triggers, easy to use with the CI/CD tools like GitHub Actions and Azure DevOps, right? So all of these services are help us to enable the ML ops for machine learning. Also Azure Machine Learning include the feature for monitoring and auditing, such as a job artifacts, such as a code snapshots, logs, and other outputs. Uh, Lineage between jobs and assets such as a containers, data, and the computer resources. So all of these features are already there, which help us to do the monitoring and auditing for the Azure machine learning models, right? So let's move to the demo. So in the demo, I would be going to show you how exactly you can create the ML service, and then we will be going to walk through with some of the ML uh, service option we have on the workspace. So yes, I have already created one of the ML workspace in my Azure subscription. But yes, to create the ML workspace, you can search for Azure Machine Learning, and this is how your service is going to be look like. Once you click on it, from here you can go ahead and create the Azure Machine Learning. So to create the machine learning, you need to have a few things. You need to have the workspace. You need to have a resource group, right? You need to define the workspace, you need to define the storage account where the machine learning is going to store all the information. You need to have the key vault, which will be going to there to store the secrets. You need to have an application insight to store, to do the to the application performance or the ML performance monitoring. And then you need to have the container registry where you're going to store the images or the models for the machine learning, right? And then you need to define the specify networking, how this ML can accessible or do can we can do the connectivity, either it's going to be public or it's going to be private. And then in advance we can define what kind of identities, what kind of storage credentials, what kind of encryption we want to enable for our databases, for our information or our ML workspace. And then we can define the tags, and then we just need to click on review and create. And from here, once the validation is done, you can go ahead and click on create. Once you do the click on create, you will be going to see all of these resources except the Synapse workspace, right? So you will be able to see the container registry, you will be going to have the Azure Machine Learning workspace, application insight, key vault, storage account, right? All of these first five the resources which you are seeing on my screen is basically deployed by the machine learning workspace, right? And then once you go into the machine learning workspace, you would not be going to see much, because everything in the machine learning workspace is need to be configured through the machine learning studio. To do that, you just need to click on here, like launch the studio. Else what you can do, you can copy this studio web URL from here, and you can use this to open the ML Studio, right? So let's quickly jump to the ML Studio. So when you go into the ML Studio, you will be going to see the plenty of options there, right? You will be going to see the certain things on the home, like you want to create the automated ML, you want to design it, or you want to create the notebooks kind of things. A part of that, if there is any jobs, computes, models are there, all of those things you can see here, right? Now from here you can configure your nodes if you really want to have a node created. But notebooks too, notebook allow users to work with the file folder and Jupyter notebook directly into the workspace. So all of those things you can do. At the same time, you can see if there is any automated ML job is done, ML job is created. From here you can go ahead and do your automated job as well, like you can define from where this need to be happen, then you can configure the jobs, and then you can select the settings, and all of those things can be done here. A part of that, the very important thing is the designer is the one where you can design your machine learning pipelines, right? So this is the one which I have already created, right? And from here it's going to see how so this is how my whole design look like. Oops, sorry. So this is how it's going to be look like, right? This is how my things is look like. And I from here I can click on submit. Once I done the submit, it's asking me to select the compute image, right? So what kind of compute image is going to be, and from here I can select either it's going to be container image or the instance. So I already have created a container instance, sorry, I already have done that. So I would be going to use that container instance to uh, like to basically run this one. And from here I can basically create the pipeline jobs kind of thing. So let's set up the one which because I don't have anything, I can define anything here, and then I can click on submit. So once I done that, this is so my designer is already going to is already there, and it's just basically have submitted the pipeline. So once you go into the pipeline, not here, data jobs component. So once you go into the pipeline, you would be able to see there is the pipeline which is running. So once you go in this pipeline, you would be able to see what is happening with my pipelines. Oh, okay. So there are a bunch of things, right? So it's running, And this is how it's, as of now it's in currently into the training state. It's, you can see all of these trainings of for these modules are happening, and once you do that, from here you can publish this one. So you can publish the pipeline, or you want to do it new, or all of those things can be happen, right? So right, it's a pipeline. At the same time, you do have a components configurations where you can see the components, you can have the pipeline options, right? You do have options to see what are the environments which is already there. If you really want to create your custom environment, you can do that as well. You do have models, so here you can register your model. So as of now I don't have any models, but I really want to, if I really want to do anything from my existing jobs or from the data store, I can directly have the model listed here. And then from here I can see the endpoint, if there is any real-time endpoints or batch endpoints are available, and from here I can create and go ahead and create that as well, right? So this other option which we have is a very interesting, where we can go ahead and create our compute cluster and the other things to run our or train our modules or train our pipeline. So if you see, I have run one of the image module which is there, and all that module is basically right now running on this machine, right? So if you go to the pipeline, you would be able to see that like my module is running on the machine, and from here you can see on which machine it is running. So once you go on this job, and from here you can see on which machine this is running is. So currently it's in running state. So once this has been completed, it's going to give us the uh, the 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 status here, and then if we go into the deep dive, we would be able to see how the classifications, other classifications of these things and all those things can be and then we do have options to create the data store. So you can see all of these data stores are already there, like a blob storage file, and all of the storage has been already created. But if you really want to create a new, you can go ahead and create that. So you can see you have plenty of data stores like a storage, SQL, PostgreSQL, MySQLs are available, and you can create all of them directly from here. You do have options to link services. From here you can add the link services directly into the ML workspace, and then we do have a data labeling where we can go ahead and create the data labeling for our data. So all of these things are there. Like you can see, as of now this machine is is running, and you can see most of the things has been completed now. Looks like yes, most of the things has been completed now. So if I go to the home, and if I go to my jobs, most probably okay, so job is still running on this compute, right? It's running, but once this is completed, I would be able to see if it has been completed or not. That's it in this demo. I hope you like this video. If you like, please click on like and subscribe for more upcoming videos, and feel free to reach us if you have any questions. Thank you.